Baby, it's a new day for Diddy to be sweating buckets cause, allegedly, he thought he paid off Kim Porter's niece Raven Walden, who by the way had fled to Vietnam, because she didn't feel safe around Diddy. But Raven is allegedly back and has reportedly even talked to the feds and spilled everything she knows about Diddy, which is a lot because she also doubled up as a babysitter after Kim died. Like I said, child, Diddy must be sweating buckets. Okay, y'all, remember when we were talking about how Kim Porter's family wanted Kim's case reopened, and I'm talking about her family, not some random person or friend somewhere. Her family, in fact, there were reports that Kim's family was seeking legal advice and was in pursuit of slapping Diddy with a lawsuit for wrongful death. The family was even said to have had physical evidence to support their case. Apparently, the family was, and still is, undeniably shattered by Kim's death because they feel that she didn't die from natural causes. And to make matters worse, Diddy has reportedly kept the twins from having a relationship with their family in Georgia. He has isolated them and kept them from any communication. It's almost as if that side of the family doesn't even exist. Well, one family member is back on our tails, but she's not really a stranger because she initially filed a lawsuit against Diddy for wrongful termination as a Jane Doe before it was revealed that she's actually Kim's niece. Raven, in fact, Diddy's team, is who revealed her identity after she filed the lawsuit, when they said in a statement, Raven is not the niece of Kim Porter as she falsely alleges, nor is there any legal basis for this case to be filed under the anonymity, as Jane Doe. Raven was a part-time babysitter to the twins who Mr. Combs kept on the jobs back in 2018 to provide continuity for the twins following the untimely death of their mother. Mr. Combs graciously permitted Raven to live in his home with her son and treated them like family. Mr. Combs will take swift and immediate action to protect his family against these false claims. So a month after filing her lawsuit, Raven also amended it to include her name, saying that she filed under Jane Doe because she was desperate to preserve her privacy and was terrified of possible physical harm to her and her babies. She also said that she initially filed under Jane Doe because she was fearful of further shaming, blaming, and retaliation. I mean, I personally understand why she would want to file as Jane Doe, because we are speaking about Diddy here. And by now, I think we've already established exactly what he is, capable of. Who in the lawsuit, Raven said that she was hired to take care of Diddy and his ex-wife Kim Porter's twins, Jesse James and Delilah. After Kim died in November 2018, she moved into Diddy's Los Angeles mansion, which was raided by federal Homeland Security agents amid an ongoing investigation in order to provide help for the family. But she said things went south after she informed Diddy and his team that she was pregnant, and she was fired. Now, she claimed the sole reason she was terminated as the family nanny had to do with her being pregnant, and she alleged Diddy told her it wasn't a good example for his twins to be taken care of by someone expecting out of wedlock. I know how hypocritical coming from someone who has a bunch of kids from different women out of wedlock. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Anyway, at the time he was sued, a rep for Diddy described the case as a meritless shakedown and denied intentions of hiring Raven as a longtime employee. The rep said her babysitting services were also intended to be temporary, especially since the girls were getting older and spending most of the day at school. And they insisted that it had nothing to do with her coincidental pregnancy, and more so involved her not doing the job properly. The legal team actually demanded that the case be dismissed, accusing the nanny of failing to satisfactorily perform her job responsibilities and otherwise conduct herself in accordance with the standards that had been set. In addition, Diddy also said that he took reasonable steps to prevent and correct workplace discrimination, if any, and to implement internal grievance processes designed to respond to correct, remedy, or otherwise avoid the alleged harm, if any, and that Raven unreasonably failed to utilize the preventive and corrective measures that he provided. Unreasonable use of such procedures would have prevented at least some of the harm, if any, that Raven alleged to have suffered. Remember, when she filed the lawsuit, Diddy and Raven had been going back and forth during the discovery phase, and Raven claimed Diddy and his team were dragging their feet in turning over documents and information, and she even demanded $5,000 in sanctions again. Diddy denied the claims and said he had produced all that was necessary. His lawyer said that instead of filing the motion and wasting court and party resources, Raven should have consulted with Diddy on a production schedule in order to understand when they would be producing the documents they committed to. Sanctions are not warranted under these circumstances, because the documents saw it have been produced. The motion was irrelevant to Diddy's production, and Raven's counsel manufactured a dispute that did not exist. Well, according to Raven, there was also more to her wrongful termination, and behind the scenes, she alleged that Diddy terminated her contract because she was getting too close to the twins, and they started telling her things about their mother. She said that a lot of details didn't add up, and she even recommended that the twins see a specialist. Allegedly, Diddy hated how close she was getting to the twins, and he feared that she might find out things that she wasn't supposed to, like how Kim really died, for instance. Also, think about it this way. If Diddy was terminating her jobs only because she was pregnant, why would she need to file the lawsuit initially as a Jane Doe? So maybe she actually got fired because, just like she said, the twins were growing increasingly close to her. And Diddy did not like that they were talking to her a lot about Kim. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Raven also found out about something that Diddy did and had to go because of that, honey. I don't know what happened after she filed the lawsuit, but recently she dropped the lawsuit, and this was after she demanded that Diddy be sanctioned for allegedly refusing to turn over documents. Raven informed the court that she decided to drop the entire case with prejudice, meaning that she can never file that case again. Fishy, right, child? This kind of thing usually means that someone has settled now. The timing of when Raven dropped the lawsuit was a bit sus, considering that by April, Diddy had already been hit with multiple lawsuits from different people. If you ask me, the only thing that makes sense is that Raven was paid to drop the lawsuit because Diddy knows that whatever she knows could be damaging. In his ongoing investigations, there were even allegations that Raven fled to Vietnam because she didn't feel safe around Diddy. So why settle now? I mean, Raven filed her lawsuit in 2022, and at the time, Diddy was not giving her the time of day. So what made him rethink his decision and settle with Raven literally years later? Guess what? Reportedly, even if he paid Raven to keep her mouth shut, he was a little too late, because the feds were already talking to everyone, including Raven. So if Diddy thought that he had Raven in his pockets, he was mistaken, because she had already spoken to the feds. Allegedly, there have even been reports claiming that with everything that has been exposed about Diddy, Raven is also willing to go public with the information she has, honey. I will be here with my cup of tea, because I know it's going to be super messy. Okay, guys, while we are still on the topic of Kim's family, there were also reports that the family members were the ones working to release Kim's book that went missing as soon as she died.